So this is Bear Grylls, and he and Glory had their fertility check today, and they have fertility. So we're doing great. Everybody's got their little half moon of sweet potato. They'll be chewing it up and feeding their girls. Tomorrow, Monday, I only have one fertility check, which is baby and dacite. And then for Tuesday, looks like only one for Tuesday. I have a bunch on Thursday. Yeah. Okay. So, that's 7 for 8 checked. They have fertility. Again, I'm going to, let me get my thoughts right here. So, this is Razzle and Ruby 10. He's down there beautifully eating his sweet potato, so he can go feed it to, not Razzle, so Remington, it's Lemony. So that's good. I do see him being perky and stuff, so I don't know. I'm going to recheck their nests on Friday, the 2nd. If they still have no fertility, then I will break them up and put somebody else in here. That would really suck. I'm still really hoping I'm going to get something in the last few eggs, but we'll see. So let's see, issues that we've had. So this is another guy whose fertility is questionable. He's probably about 3 years old, and he has never bred before. However, he seems to be in love with his girl, and they are giving me bond behavior. I've never actually seen them breed, though, so there's every possibility that he could be infertile, but it was worth a try. So I'll be watching them. Their fertility check is Thursday. These two are going gangbusters. I replaced, so after finding this nest box had a little tiny hole in it, and I realized there's another one here somewhere that has a little tiny hole in it too. And I looked all around, worried that maybe it had been up here with Lake, who was terrible and rejected all the males I gave her and everything else. But after watching Lake for a while, I determined that she was in love with the guy next door, which is weird because she never met him before, and he's a little low-ranking cock, but whatever. So I pulled her. She did not have the small opening on the nest box. And this is good old Bubba Jr. and Sif, who need to throw me a couple more of their magnificent chips. These two right here were the ones that had the tiny little nest box hole, which is funny because Aster is a huge bird. And when I opened the box and watched her struggle her way through that little tiny hole, I was like, oh dang, I gotta do something. Because a hen really needs to be able to get in and out of her box regularly. And the things that you can do to make sure that happens are make sure that the hole is big enough if you have big birds. And the other thing is make sure if it's cold that the bottom of the box is insulated, because she can only stay out for as long as those eggs will not get too cold. And if the weather is really cold, then that means she can come out for perhaps a minute or two, and then she has to dive right back into the box. And it's going to be really hard for her to get enough food, especially once chicks start to hatch and she's feeding them everything that she's got. So if you're breeding in a colder weather, anything below about 40, 45 degrees, I would actually put a layer of like styrofoam insulation and just tape it on the box, and that holds the hen's body heat in so she can go out for several minutes at a time without worrying about her eggs freezing to death. So I did bore a larger hole in this. I made a terrible mess of it, but I made it work, and now I have seen her out of the box more today than ever before. So, and these two have their they had a first egg. I put it in there, and apparently when they moved in, they decided that it might not be their egg. So they destroyed it, and now she's laid a second egg. So I changed their hatch date and everything, and they're going along gangbusters. And I even saw him in the nest box at some point. So this is a new pairing. This is Congo, after the Congo River. He is a Bubba boy. And and that little girl is a Haverty girl out of a hen that had magnificent feathers. So I'm hoping for good things here, and they're moving along nicely. I'm seeing them in and out of the box, and he's flirting with her and doing all kinds of good things. This up here is a bonded pair, so I really don't expect to have any problems with them. I also made the, oh, see these two? Oh, we're moving closer to the box. They're grooming each other. It's good. I also made the entrance on this box bigger too. So I have no more. The only boxes I have with the original regular parakeet-sized entrances are the ones on the foster cage. My fosters are horrible little creatures. This little girl isn't getting anywhere fast. The dominant hen seems to have moved into this box. I guess he likes it better now that it has a blinder on it. And that is the box that he used last year. Let me see if there's an egg in there. There is. She laid her first egg. She has officially claimed that box. So my little yellow face hen over here ought to start having an easier time getting a box. This hen, let's see if she laid an egg yet. Not yet. She's been in this box. The blue hen, oh, blue hen is in this box. Okay. So those 3 boxes are claimed. This one here is the blank one, and I expect my little yellow face to figure that out in the next couple of days and move in. My cockatiels are up to 5 fertile eggs. Oh my God. I will probably cull them if they have too many more eggs, because I don't want them to try and raise 7 chicks. That's just too much. Let's see. Who else? Oh, there we go. That's Bubba Jr. and Sis taking care of business. I haven't even seen her in the box yet, but I'm sure she's going in, so. No, this is not their tape. Okay, so as far as Lake goes, I will just try her again next time. She'll have a few more months maturity on her, and she will not be next to my little ugly Lothario here. And these 2 are going gangbusters. This is Estuary with her new boy, and they have 2 eggs. That's Peridot. They should be wonderful. So I have a lot of Bubba boys, and these are very, very tall birds. That are like folding into my line, to my green lines all over the place. Bubba Jr. up here is a Bubba boy. Peridot is a Bubba boy. And these 2 down here, this is Congo and Nile are both Bubba boys. Let's see, Congo and Nile are full brothers, and Peridot and Bubba Jr. are full brothers. They have different mothers. These 2 up here have different mothers than the ones down below. So I'm glad I've got these guys set up and things are happening with them, because they're high value birds, because a part of your breeding program has to be size. If you don't breed carefully, and if you're not taking care of health, and if you don't be careful not to inbreed, your birds will get smaller and smaller and smaller until you have fluffy little regular parakeets. And they'll never get anywhere on the bench. You have to get some size going. So like this guy is not a very big bird. So size comes in a lot of different forms. This guy right here is not a very big bird, but he stands up straight and he poofs up the top of his head so he looks bigger than he is. This guy up here stands up straight, poofs up the top of his head, and he's a big bird anyway, so he's really large. And his hen is really large, and their babies come out really large. Peridot is very, very tall, but he doesn't have the poofy feather to make him look big. And he's not a heavy bird. Nile down here is tall, but not as tall as his normal green brother over there. He has better feather though. But one of the things I have found is that a show bird needs to be at least 2 years old, if not older, because the cock's feather just gets better and better and better. So this guy did not look this good 2 years ago. I mean, last year. But he's 2 years old now, and he's probably one of my best show birds. So, Let's see. Everybody else is just going gangbusters and waiting for fertility checks. So I'm really pleased that these two are showing some interest because I'd like to get some babies there. They're both high value, and although her feather is not fabulous, she comes from parents that do have fabulous feather. So when I mix her up with him, who does have fabulous feather and a nice long mask, I expect to get some really nice babies out of them. So all of my rainbow line, this is Scarn and Pastel, Bear Girls and Glory, and Indus and Luna are all fertile. Both of my Texas Clear Body breeding projects are fertile, and 1 out of 2 of my mob projects are fertile. We have to wait until Thursday to find out if the other pair will be or not. So I'm thrilled, and I will be doing fostering. Okay. I have to change this because she decided not to use this box. The egg is gone. So I have to put the date of the other egg. So they are not going to hatch out these eggs, at least this time. If this fostering actually goes really well this time around, I may have them hatch out some of their own eggs in the fall so that I can start another foster cage. But we'll see. But the reason I have to keep track of these eggs is I'm going to pull them and freeze them. And I like to do that before the embryo is very much developed. So I have to write down when the first egg was laid so that I can then track how far along it is. So I will be doing that. Okay, so that's today's update.